Does anyone knows that airplanes can fly around the world while running entirely on the solar energy? Isn't it interesting? Yes, it is. It happened in July 2010 when an airplane named Solar Impulse 1 achieved first 26-hour solar powered flight. It was possible only with the solar energy. But could alternative energy completely replace our non-renewable energy sources? Can it be possible? I'm Jashanpreet Kaur Chahal, and today I'm going to talk about this serious topic that can we replace our non-renewable energy sources by the renewable ones? Let's start the topic. Firstly, talking about what are the non-renewable energy sources. The energy resources that are once used up cannot be replenished or replaced. The examples include coal, petroleum, natural gas, oil, and nuclear energy. They are collectively called fossil fuels, which were formed millions of years ago from dead plants and animals. This picture this picture is also showing that there is a fossil fuel plant which is leading to pollution. Now, on the other hand, we have non-renewable energy sources. Talking about what they are. The energy sources that are derived from the natural sources and can be replenished. The examples are solar, wind, hydro, biogas, tidal, and geothermal energy. So these are the examples of renewable energy sources. Now, why do we need to replace the non-renewable energy sources? What's wrong with them? So, there are many reasons due to which we need to replace our non-renewable energy sources. The most prominent reason is that the non-renewable energy sources, or what we call fossil fuels, cannot be replenished. They are a finite resources and we are using them very fast. Secondly, fossil fuels are responsible for emitting greenhouse gases after burning, such as carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, etc., resulting in climate change and cause pollution. Due to that pollution caused by fossil fuels, people face many health problems such as the respiratory diseases, the heart diseases, lung cancer, and many more. The workers in the coal mines and the oil drills are more prone to health risks and even death. Oil spills in the water bodies is deadly for the sea animals. Lastly, the cost of renewable energy sources is also increasing. It's increasing a lot. So these are the reasons why we need to replace our non-renewable energy sources. There are some alternatives which are the renewable energy sources. Let's talk about them. Firstly, talking about the solar energy and wind energy. What is solar energy? We know that sun is an extremely powerful source of energy. Solar power is conversion of energy from sunlight into electricity using the photovoltaic panels or concentrating solar radiations through the mirrors. Here in this picture, we can see that there are the solar panels which use the sunlight to produce electricity. Now, talking about wind energy. The power of wind is used to rotate the windmills and produce electricity. Windmills collect and convert to kinetic energy of wind to produce electricity to help power our grids, and it's a very useful form of energy. Now, moving to hydro energy and tidal energy. Firstly, hydro energy. Hydropower uses water to generate electricity. Fast moving water turns the turbines generate electricity. Here in this picture we can see that there is a dam which uses the fast flow of water to move the turbines and produce electricity. Talking about tidal energy. It is the energy produced by surge of ocean waters during rise and fall of tides and currents. Next, we have geothermal energy and bioenergy. Talking about geothermal energy. It's the heat energy from Earth and it's generated from thermal energy in Earth's crust. What about bioenergy? It's produced from biomass, which is an organic material coming from plants and animals also. But there are some challenges with the renewable sources of energy also. So, what are those challenges? Let's have a look. Firstly, the renewable power plant setup cost is more. It's more than the fossil fuel plants. The biggest hydroelectric facility in the world is at Three Gorges Dam in China, but it took 20 years to build and cost at least $28 billion. Dollars. More than a billion people had to be moved from their houses. Secondly, some forms of renewable energy sources work in a particular location, such as solar energy work in locations having sunshine most of the times, and wind energy gets generated where wind blows at high speed. So the areas having wind blowing at the slow speed or the locations where the sunlight is not for the much time, especially in the winter, so there at those places we cannot use the wind energy and solar energy. It's a big disadvantage of the renewable sources. Moreover, installation of the solar plants and windmills need a lot of space. For instance, to generate same amount of energy as 1 square kilometer power plant, we might need 5,000 square kilometer of wind turbines. It's a big area. Talking about more challenges related to the non-renewable sources of energy. There's a lot of costs involved in storage of energy, including batteries, cells, tanks, and turbines. Lastly, the tidal energy plants have adverse effects on animals and plants living near tidal stations, and it disturbs the migration of living creatures in the ocean. So, renewable energy sources cannot replace the non-renewable energy sources completely because we are having challenges to overcome with the renewable sources of energy. But there is a solution too. We can reduce the use of fossil fuels by incorporating renewable sources of energy to save the environment. Globally, renewables make up 29% of electricity generation in 2020, much of it from hydropower, which accounted for 16.8%. We can make more researches to reduce the cost and make the renewable energy sources more efficient. also want to say that planting more and more trees help to combat the climatic changes as trees absorb the greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide and methane. So, grow more and more trees after clearing to protect the environment. At last, we cannot say that renewables can completely replace the non-renewable energy sources. Installing new facilities require research and development as well as new infrastructure. It cannot happen overnight that we are converting non-renewable energy sources to renewable ones. We can indulge the renewables and go for planting more and more trees to reduce the adverse effects of fossil fuels on nature. It's our collective responsibility to preserve our environment. So take initiatives and preserve the environment. Thank you.